So if we can see that there's so much power and potential in ourselves from God, then we can bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has been given the truth that will set us free.
That's right.
Set us free from fear, from ignorance. Set us free from lack of strength and laziness. Set us free from anxiety and grief. Set us free from all of the things that we are really holding ourselves down with. If we will accept the truth that will set us free. If we have belief in the man and the word from the man, and we begin to try to act on what he's giving us, then it requires that we begin to have a certain orientation of mind and a certain attitude to be able to maintain that motion, to be able to stay the course of faith. For the Quran says that had it been a near gain and a short journey, they all would have followed you. But the long journey, it says, was too hard for them. Everybody, a lot of people, when they hear the word, you know it's true, you know it's good for us as a people, you say, I like that. But then to get started and to stay the course requires that we make up our mind a certain way, for there's difficulty on that road. For we, knowing who we are, is half the battle. But then becoming who you were born to be, now that involves some struggle. To know that there's gold in the earth, as we said. To know that there's diamonds in the earth. To know there's precious metals. That's one thing, but you now have to have science. You have to have tools. You have to have workers. You have to have a light on the helmet to be able to go into the mine. And you have to have the proper equipment to be able to handle the dangers and the difficulties of mining out the treasure. Well, if that's true in mining out gold and diamonds, that is nowhere close to the treasure that lies up inside of you. And if that is much more valuable, then it's much more difficult. So to mine that out of self now, you can't think you're just going to walk up to the mine without any equipment. Walk up to the mine without a light on your helmet or without a helmet at all and think that you're about to mine something out. You may start the process, but you'll find in a minute you'll be done. Come on, teach. So if we can see that mining out gold and diamonds requires all of that, then what is required to mine out God from within us? One of the major things that must be given, or that we must equip ourselves with, is the attitude of a believer. For the minister said, as we grow in love of the God, as we hear the truth and it inspires us, and our will starts to spring up to do better and be better and live better. He said you can't have a strong will and a weak attitude. Well, he said your attitude will protect your will. And your attitude will protect your faith. Or if you have a negative attitude, if you have an attitude, and let me say this, when we say attitude, we're not saying necessarily mood. For mood is how you feel right now. You can be in a good mood and yet have a negative attitude. And you can have a good attitude and maybe not be in the best of mood right now. Mood is temporary. Mood is in the moment. You know, you left the house and you got a ticket on your way here. Maybe you're in a bad mood. But if you, brothers and sisters, have the right attitude, you say, well, I was speeding. I need to slow down.
Yes, sir.
I'll be all right.
Good teaching.
So our attitude has more to do with our fixed and steady frame of mind. The orientation of our thinking. Do we tend to think on the positive or the negative? Do we think that the glass is half full or is it half empty? Why you bring me this half-empty glass, bro?
Oh.
Come on.
Or do I say thank you for bringing me some water? Because I had none before you brought it to me. I had nothing before you brought it to me. You can detect attitude over many instances and see someone's frame of mind. So Jesus in the Bible, he gave his disciples a very specific attitude to take and called them the Beatitudes. Saying these are attitudes that you need to be in.
Break it down.
I mean, that's pretty simple, right? Be in them. Be means to exist in them. Not just for a moment while you're at the church or whatever house, but exist in them, live in them, remain in this attitude. Because this attitude will protect your faith. You've come to learn some truth, but if your